One of the largest debates in America at this time is legislation that the President and most Democratic senators are trying to push through Congress. This matter has always been a hot topic when it comes to the opposing sides of the politics and also the people of this nation. But many recent events have led the issue to the forefront of the nation's mind. The Columbine shooting in 1999, the Virginia Tech shooting in 2007, the more recent Aurora, Colorado Theater massacre, and the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting have driven the country to feel more aggressively when it comes to firearms and the laws that are in place dealing with them, whether for or against. Personally, I am for gun control, but only to an extent. I believe expanded background checks would be beneficial to everyone, including the mental health of the buyer. The Washington Post states the position of the National Rifle Association by saying 91% of NRA members support changing laws to stop people with mental illness from acquiring guns. For this tactic to be effective, a database of the mentally ill would have to be in place stating the person's mental status. Also, gun shows are a very popular place for gun buyers to make their purchases, so it would be smart for background checks to be in place at these events. On this subject, the Washington Post also comments by saying, initially, gun control advocates hoped for a requirement of background checks for individuals purchasing a gun under most any circumstance. Some people who know they cannot pass a background check will get another person to purchase the gun for them. The talk pertaining to these unfortunate cases is that the person who purchases the weapon would receive a much harsher sentence than they are at this time. Those who are doing this are contributing to gun crime in this country and need to be punished to the full extent of the law. In America, at this time, most Democrats and liberals, along with some conservatives and independents, are behind gun control. They want to see the sales of high-capacity magazines halted along with the sales of military rifles. These individuals are also supporting more extensive background checks as well as mental health checks. Republican New York Senator Peter T. King says expanding the background check program is absolutely essential to curbing gun-related violence in New York. The recent proposed and defeated Manchin-Toomey bill would have provided for the background check portion of the desired gun control. However, certain aspects of that bill concerns the gun control advocates. The Washington Post says of this bill, gun control advocates are worried about some of the expected amendments authorized or backed by the NRA, including one that would provide a national reciprocity arrangement in which the gun owner who received a permit to carry a concealed weapon in any state would be allowed to do that anywhere in the country. This worries advocates because it would allow gun owners to legally carry their weapons to any state, whereas they are currently limited according to individual state law. On the other side of the controversy, we have the ones who are opposed to gun control legislation. Most of these individuals are conservatives and Republicans who have voted against all gun control laws recently proposed in Congress. They very strongly support the Second Amendment and use it for the primary reason of their opposition. The Washington Times reports, the Second Amendment was not written to give citizens the right to bear arms for hunting or merely protecting his or her home or property. If you diligently check the history, the main reason for the Second Amendment was to ensure that citizens are protected from tyrannical and/or overreaching government. Another reason they oppose the issue is the fact that they are afraid the government is gaining too much control over the citizens. They have seen this happen in the past to other countries and are thinking extremely when it comes to this case in America. Again, the Washington Times states those in opposition saying, "If you think that the government's promise for a safer environment is what is actually delivered, consider how the people of Great Britain relinquished their rights to bear arms. It started with licenses and registration, and step by step more restrictions came into play. Today, the only people in Great Britain who possess guns are the bad guys. That's where the lawmakers in DC are moving us." The same thing happening in our country is severely unlikely. Additionally, the NRA is one of the largest groups when it comes to championing gun rights and opposing gun control. They state in the Washington Post that more than 8 in 10 NRA members oppose bans on high-capacity ammunition clips and semi-automatic assault weapons, with at least 7 in 10 opposing each strongly. In fact, the fact that the NRA is also one of the most powerful lobbying groups in Washington means that their opinions will always be heard and often win. In the future, I would like to see the entire issue be settled by compromise. Neither side is going to get everything they want, therefore the only solution is to negotiate and rationally decide what is best for the people of America. With a large majority of Americans supporting expanded background checks, the NRA and Congress people of the right should accept that as part of the larger compromise that ensures the continuing rights of gun. This rational type of compromise is the only way to protect both rights and safety of the people.